What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for checking us out. Today is the next iteration of my Travel Tip Tuesday. You can find some of those linked up right over here. But today's topic is how to figure out what to do in a city, learn about the culture, and meet people while you travel. So check it out. So if you're coming back to my channel, then you know that my goal of all of this is to show you that travel can be cheap, affordable, and fun at the same time. So today combines all of those pieces into one. What if I told you that you can find out the history about a country, you can see the destinations from a local guide, and meet new people while you're traveling? For free. Listen, for free. I think you'd be in on it. So, a lot of times I end up going places just because I find a cheap flight, but I'm not really much of a researcher. I really just say, oh, there gotta be something to do here. There gotta be something to do here. When I started traveling a little bit, I started hearing people talking about this thing called free walking tours. Now, free walking tours are exactly what they sound like. You have a local guide who shows you all of the different destinations in the city, so you don't have to be on your Google Maps pinning things, trying to figure out where everything is. This is really good, especially if you're in a country where they don't speak English, because usually the guide speaks your language. And there's guides from all over the place that speak all different kinds of languages. And if you're by yourself and you're traveling, this is a great way to meet other people and not having to pay to meet them. They'll be in your walking tour with you. You meet at the specific location, and then you and a group of other people walk around and see historic sites. Typically in cities, a lot of the destinations are close to each other, especially the historical ones. The local guide is someone who grew up there, and they know a lot of the history and the important events that happen because you're seeing things from their perspective. Now, these walking tours can vary in length. They can be 1 hour. I've been on some for 3 hours. I've been on some for 30 minutes. It all depends on the walking tour you sign up for. So for example, I went to Colombia, and when I was in Colombia, I was solo traveling. I went to Bogota, which is the capital city. I went to Medellin, which is notorious for Medellin, and Cartagena, which is a beach town where a lot of tourists go. In each one of these 3 cities, I took a walking tour for free. I got to know a lot of the local history, and a lot of things that I would just walk by, I stopped and I saw, and I learned a lot about the history. And this was really good because it tied different pieces of the culture together. So while I was in Bogota, I went to this Botero museum. Now, Botero is one of the most famous Colombian artists.
So Botero was a real famous artist because of his style. Here goes a Mona Lisa. Typically he painted really fat people. But he says it's really just the way that he sees things. It's not really fat people.
It was beautiful, and he has such a unique perspective of art. Now, if I didn't take that walking tour in Bogota, then I would have never known when I went to Medellin that they have a whole strip of all of Botero's different sculptures.
We're here in Botero Square. You see once again those things that they called those fat sculptures that are famous. One of the most famous people, oh man, look at this. Bomboclad, you know?
These beautiful grand sculptures would have been nothing to me, but I knew the significance because I took a free walking tour in Bogota first. And then when I went to Cartagena, I learned a lot about the culture, specifically about the slave culture and how the transcontinental slave trade took roots in Colombia. Now, for me as a black traveler, this was super important to know and educate myself about, and the people, because that tells you so much about their story. The tour itself doesn't cost any money, but if you think it's a good tour, then you usually tip. And you tip whatever you want to tip a guy. So I've been on great tours where I tipped a guy $20. Listen, I'm cheap, all right? I'm cheap. And I've also been on pretty crappy tours. There's been tours that were so bad that I just left midway through the tour and just left. I felt bad about it, but it was a bad tour. The dude hardly spoke English, and I really couldn't comprehend everything he was saying. And I felt like I was just wasting time on things that weren't really significant to me personally. I'd rather pick at my discretion what I want to tip the person. And also these local guides tell you so much more about food, about places to stay, other destinations to see, which is such a unique perspective. So now, One website that I personally use is GuruWalk. Now, like I said, these free walking tours are anywhere in the world, for the most part. Europe is really good for them, but here we go. Now I'm on GuruWalk, the best free tour guides in the world. So here is this European destination that gives you popular destinations and also gives you specific ones for countries. So for example, right here, if you go to Barcelona, you can really learn about their soccer history. This is unique and super interesting, especially for a lot of football fans. I'm going to talk about Colombia particularly because that's the one that I went on and I have really good things to say about this free walking tour. So I'm typing Medellin, which is in Colombia. And it's also the Comuna 13 graffiti tour. Now, I took this tour because it basically tells all about how Comunidad 13 changed after Pablo Escobar. So this was once the murder capital of the world, and now it transformed into this beautiful place with arts. So I think this is a specific one that I used. Now, GuruWalk is cool because all of these, they tell you if it's pro. Pro means that it's verified by them and that they are really good walking tours. So for example, this one right here has 750 reviews. That's one that I went on, like I said. It tells you right here, it's available in 2 languages, Spanish and English, and it's 2.5 hours. Like it's 2.5 hours that these guys are going. They're usually some groups. It might be a little different with coronavirus, but 750 people left reviews and it's a 4.7 stars. I know it's free, but it's still your time. So it lets you know if these tours are good. And it gives you different things to do. It tells you right here, the meeting points, tells you how to find them. And then from there, you just book at different times. So it looks like this one books once a day, Sunday, 2 times a day, and then Monday. So right here, down there, you scroll down to the reviews and you see about it. It's easy to book. Remember, like I said, these are free walking tours. So all you need here is your name, email address, phone number, and how many people are coming. And then that's it. You don't need to put any credit card numbers, nothing like that. It's a free walking tour. So with that being said, go out there and book these tours. You could be anywhere. I know even right now during quarantine, there are still free walking tours going on. I live in Boston. There's so much history here. So go out and even in your neighborhood, take some of these free walking tours. All right. Well, thank you so much for checking out my channel today. Please be sure to like, subscribe. Let me know any good information that you knew below in the comments, and see you next week. Thank you for watching my Travel Tip Tuesday series.